This is episode 7 of the MMA on Tap podcast. Today's beer of choice is PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. The only reason it's our choice of beer is because we had a bunch left over from the fight this weekend. Yeah. And I have like 30 beers in my fridge, so might as well just stick with some classic college beer, PBR. I'm not
good memories from the fight, too.
Yeah, so. Good memories from the fight.
It'll jog our memory.
But let's just get a quick rating, Walter. If you had to give an official rating, what would you give it out of 5?
You talk bad about PBR, but I like it. I give it a 4.
You're crazy.
Isn't it 5%?
Yeah, it's 5%.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it's better than, I'd rather have it than like Miller Lite or
really?
Or a Bud Light. So
I wouldn't.
4.
Because, yeah, it doesn't taste good. What do you think the official rating is?
3.1.
Yeah, the official rating is a 1.8. It's very bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, and 150 calories for each one. So just don't drink too much. I don't want you getting too big on us.
I'm in a bulking phase. So.
We're not going to promote PBR too much because it's just something.
You probably know what it tastes like.
You know it. Yeah, it's not that great. Because I'm so pumped to jump into the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight. It was a fantastic fight. It lived up. It was worth. I just wanted it to be worth the pay-per-view to buy it, and it exceeded my expectations. I thought first we should break down the co-main event: Davis versus Fonseca. Would you?
Well, that was a classic matchup.
It was a classic boxing matchup of two fighters that were fighting each other. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Yeah. We had them on in the background, but we were just pre-gaming basically for the main event.
They were very much background.
Event, yeah. But yeah, let's just jump on right into it. Floyd Mayweather Jr. against Conor McGregor at 154. What did you think of the fight? Or talk about the whole experience. How were you feeling during the day? Were you ready for the fight? How'd you feel?
I was ready for it. I was sick of the talking.
Ready?
Stuff.
You were done with the talk. Like, let's get to the fight. Yeah.
I did watch just some of the pre-fight, and I'm like, this is just old stuff, and they seem like they were done with it.
Yeah.
I think everyone was. It's like, let's just
get to the fight.
Do this. Yeah, so by the time it was going, I'm like, I'm ready for this.
So, like, when they were walking out, how did you feel? Were you confident in Conor still? Because you picked him by knockout. How'd you feel about Conor doing the knockout?
I did. I didn't know about knockout, but I was like, all right, he looks good, but he always comes out confident. So I knew I would know in the 5th or 6th round, and once he started getting hit, because as we saw from his previous fights, when he gets hit, he kind of gets this look on his face, and you can kind of tell it's going south from there. But he came in confident. He looked good.
I thought that was one of my biggest takeaways is what I've learned from Conor is pressure does not bother Conor like it does. You're fighting the best boxer of all time. That's 49-0. You've never fought in boxing before. And he looked confident as ever. Like he walked into the ring like, yeah, I'm going to outbox Floyd right now. Maybe not outbox, but I'm going to land that one. I'm going to land that left hook. But that was what really shocked me was, and you'll never see Conor not confident before any contest. Yeah. He's always going to be confident. So I was just happy that it wasn't. You knew he wasn't there just for the money. He really thought he was going to go in and beat Floyd. But
he's definitely there for the money. Definitely there for the money.
Well, yeah, of course he's there for the money, but he thought he was going to beat Floyd.
I think we disagree on that.
Yeah, I guess we do. I'm surprised, first of all, that the commission even sanctioned it because usually you have to, have sort of close records or at least have a bunch of fights if you're fighting a guy another with a bunch of fights. But they sanctioned it with a guy that's never fought boxing against someone 49-0.
There's that much money in it; they're going to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, when there's that much money, I guess that makes sense. But
there's a way around everything when you have money.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think of the national anthems?
I honestly was like, I think I was talking during it, so I wasn't really paying attention. The only thing I remember from the national anthem was like glance at the TV and saw Demi Lovato. I knew she was singing it, but she looked really good. But then I don't remember. I wasn't drunk for the fight. Don't get me wrong. I just wasn't paying attention to the TV for the national anthems because I don't care. I'm trying to. I'll see the walkouts in the fight, but I don't care about the national anthems. So I don't care. I'm not trying to be patriotic on the fight night, but I literally the only thing I remember from the national anthems was sing Demi Lovato for like 5 seconds, and I went back to talking. But I don't remember anything from Connor's Ireland's national anthem.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't really.
And honestly, I don't really remember much of them walking out or them entering. I just kind of the intros is when I tuned in. Yeah. So, I don't. Yeah, but man, the fight though, I couldn't believe how well it went. It kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty low energy at the party by the time the fight was starting because I think everyone was a little tired, had a few drinks. Yeah. So had to get the party going a little bit, but once it started, I feel like everyone was really into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was break down the fight? What'd you think about it? Early rounds, later rounds?
How we thought it would go, I guess.
Yeah.
Started out.
No, well, you thought Conor would knock him out, so you were wrong, but continue.
Yes, yeah. Started out with McGregor pushing the pace, throwing a lot of shots. I can't remember how many they said he landed, like 117 maybe. That stands out. But.
I got a big stat for you. Conor McGregor landed 110 punches in the fight, and it went 10 rounds. He got knocked out in the TKO'd in the 10th. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather went all 12 rounds. Manny only landed 81 punches.
How many of Conor's were him just hitting the side of his head when they were in the clinch? They count those because that was probably half.
They might. There was a chart that someone broke down of like power punches, jabs, and then there's one other thing. So keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but I mean, it started. Conor was walking him down, but Floyd never seemed scared of Conor, not once. And Conor shots, he was landing shots, but it didn't really. To me, they didn't seem like they were hurting Floyd, and they didn't seem that hard for having seen Conor in other fights. I was a little disappointed, and I don't know. I thought it'd be more powerful. I thought he'd be a little more like making Mayweather feel uncomfortable. I think after Mayweather took a few shots, it's like, yeah, this guy was just all talk. And I think that was one thing that Conor hyped that really went against Conor was the 8-ounce gloves. Conor's power is in the 4-ounce gloves.
It really is.
And when you put him up to 8, I don't think he realized he's not a knockout guy when you get more padding on there, like he is at the 4-ounce. So I know they were using that in Conor's favor, but when you look back at it and you're like, wow, that really actually doesn't help.
Do you think that Floyd... so Conor won, in my opinion, I thought Conor won the first 3, maybe 4 rounds. So, but it could have gone. But do you think that Conor won those rounds, or Floyd was just figuring him out and because Floyd didn't take much damage. Conor landed on Floyd, but do you think Floyd was just taking his time? I don't think Conor won the rounds. I think Floyd was letting him win the rounds. I guess that's how I want to say it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Floyd wasn't doing anything in the first 3. He was just kind of standing there defending, just like letting... I think he was probably just letting him wear himself out because if he did his research, he knows Conor gas is pretty quick.
Right.
Just like, all right, if he's a power puncher, that's what you do. Wait out the first few rounds and that power's going. Yeah. And an interesting thing, you said Mayweather wasn't taking much damage at the end of the fight when they were doing their post-fight talks.
Yeah.
Conor was wearing sunglasses, big sunglasses.
Well, he always does, so you can't look into that too much.
I definitely think he had some beat up on his face a little bit. You could see some swelling. And Mayweather was fine.
Yeah, both. Yeah,
you can even tell he was in a fight. Like it seemed like he just was at a press conference.
It's a classic Floyd fight. He never gets touched up.
Yeah, but everyone's saying, "Well, you got hit 110 times." You think there'd be a little bit of something if Conor really packed as much power as he said.
Yeah. But so the fight ended in the 10th. If you had to score it, not the 10th round, just first through the 9th. Do you remember how you would have it? I mean, because mine, it could have been...
It's pretty varied, wasn't it, with the judges?
Yeah. Oh, well, no. I'm saying for our opinions, and then I'll bring in the judges. But for me, I feel like Conor could have won the first 4 rounds, and then Floyd definitely had the 5th through 9th. So, and then definitely the 10th. But 1 through 4, I think could have been Conor's rounds. Definitely 1 through 3. The 4th, I wasn't too sure about, but I definitely thought, I think Conor could have been down by 1 round, but that's 5-4. That's good for Conor. I'm very happy. Yeah. But the problem was that the incompetent judges of Nevada only had Conor up, or only gave Conor 1 round.
Yeah, it seems a little ridiculous.
No, this should be the story. It's not the story. It's only not a story because Floyd knocked him out. If it had gone to decision, this would be the story right now. Because that is, dude.
I don't know. Yeah,
the judges were
at least
ready.
Won 3 or 4.
That's the thing. The judges were ready to rob Conor, and I'll tell you exactly why.
He would have never got one because Conor never would have won the decision.
No, I know, but the fact. Okay, even if he wouldn't have won, you only gave him 1 round. He didn't. He won more than 1 round.
Yeah.
And so, here's my theory: is Las Vegas, they barely lose. Like on the house, like betting wise, they never lose.
Yeah.
So
they had a lot to lose.
So you got Las Vegas would have taken a huge hit if McGregor won. So the judges, they knew that. So the judges were like, yeah, well, they gave him 1 round. That literally is a huge story to me that didn't get brought up just because it got finished. But I think it's a huge story, and there needs to be questions asked about it. I guess not, because you're Las Vegas. You want to make money. You need to make money.
Yeah.
And they take millions of dollars in losses for this. So
yeah,
I thought that was ridiculous that all the judges basically gave Conor 1 round out of the 9 that had happened.
Yeah, that was weird. But I mean,
was it weird?
Had it gone to all 12 rounds, well, it was just weird because some judges had it right, and some they were so different. How different they were. It's not like all the judges were on the same page. It seemed like they were pretty varied.
I think 2 of them had it the same, and then 1 was just a little bit off. But I wish I had the exact scores at that time, but I don't know.
I just remember seeing kind of different. But
the one thing,
but in the grand scheme, it wouldn't have mattered because he still lost. Like, it wasn't a close decision by any means.
I'm just saying
it was a split decision. Conor could have possibly pulled it out. He wasn't ever going to win on the decision. So, I mean, did he get robbed of a few rounds? But in the grand scheme, I think no one's going to remember. Oh, Conor got robbed of 2 rounds. He lost by decision. He would have lost. So. But that is very shady, like you're saying.
It's just, that's the way I'm looking at it. It just seems super shady. But classic Nevada Athletic Commission, that's what they do.
Especially since
super shady.
There's no way you could give at least the first 2 rounds. Mayweather really didn't do anything, and I'm sure he would admit that was part of his plan. He would probably been like, "Oh, you guys actually gave that to me? I wasn't even trying." That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I just couldn't believe the thing. One of my biggest takeaways was that Conor McGregor, who has never fought professional boxing, went 10 rounds with the best boxer of all time. How can you not be happy? What else can you can't ask for anything better from Conor. I mean, he stepped in the ring. Okay, Floyd hasn't he's knocked out, a couple people in the last 10 years, but Conor's sticking in there and winning rounds, in my opinion, winning rounds against the best boxer of all time. It's a moral victory, and what I got really happy about was a lot of MMA fighters talk shit about Conor because he talks shit about them.
Yeah.
But Eddie Alvarez, his former opponent, Max Holloway, they were all so happy for him. I mean, shit. Eddie Alvarez tweeted, "Tip my cap to Conor McGregor. Took the best ever 10 fucking rounds. Great work great show for the world of MMA." Max Holloway said, "Respect to Conor McGregor. Showed the world we can compete in boxing." And then what pissed me off was Jose Aldo just tweeted a bunch of emojis of crying, laughing. Like, he was like, "Ha ha ha. You got knocked out in 13 seconds, so you can laugh all you want." But
and you cried after.
So you can cry laughing that he got knocked out. But guess what? Yeah. Have you ever made $2 million in one of your fights, Jose? Guess what? He just made $100 million.
So him being a little sour.
And you lost to Conor. So that was annoying. But it was cool seeing the whole MMA community. I was on Twitter reading everything. Everyone was. It was kind of seemed like all of MMA got behind Conor, and it was. You have to be proud of him.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean it's probably about the best he could have done. Maybe taking it to decision, but
could have gone to.
I mean, that's hard. He's the greatest of all time. This isn't really Conor's sport, so I think he did a good job.
What did you think of the stoppage? Because I thought it was a little early. I'm just surprised they didn't even give him a 10 count. They just waved it off. That's what shocked me the most. But then you look back, he was gassed. You could tell, but it didn't seem like he was going down. He was just kind of trying to back off and stay on the ropes, kind of.
He was kind of falling backwards. Okay, it looked like he was kind of running. Not running back, but definitely backing up, looking for those ropes to help keep him up. But, I don't know. I thought it was a bad stoppage, but I don't really know boxing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing I learned about seeing this fight. I don't really get what boxing is, but...
I really did think the ref did a great job in the match. He kind of let them fight and let the boxing match flow. He wasn't the big thing. You don't want the referee feeling like he has to be a part of the fight.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. He was, if they were clinching a little too, break. Okay, that's cool. But the only thing was the stoppage kind of bugged me. At least give him maybe a 10 count to get his wits about him.
Let him go down, especially a big fight like that. You gotta let him get knocked to the ground. You know?
Because, like a part of me says that, but then at the end of the fight, in the post-fight press conference, Conor said, he said, the ref did an excellent job. I have no complaints. I wish he would have let it go a little longer, but during the fight, he did an excellent job. So
it's not like anything would have changed. It probably would have been, maybe he lasts to round 11, but he wasn't making it.
Well, Conor said, after the fight, said, when I would spar the 12 rounds in camp, during the 6th through 9th round, or 6th through 10th round, somewhere in there, I would get tired. But he's like, I would always, for some reason, catch a second wind in the 11th and 12th round. So it's like I would have liked to have seen the 11th round. And then I can see what he's saying, because in MMA, he gets gassed in the 3rd or 4th, and then he ends up winning the 5th usually. So Conor, he gasses in the middle, but then gets his second wind and comes back. So I would have liked to have seen the 11th, or at least give him a standing 10 count and seen what happened. But
he did really nothing past the 4th round.
That's
kind of where he started backing up. He was backing up. You're backing up for 5.
Or Floyd was turning. I don't say it was Conor backing down. I think it was Floyd turning up.
Yeah, but Conor said he wasn't going to back up, and then for all the rounds he was backing up.
Well, you're fighting the greatest boxer. Things are gonna
but you're also the bigger guy. I mean, all the stuff he said, talked about before the fight, he didn't do really. So he's like, I'm gonna walk him down. He did for 3 rounds, and then I don't know, maybe he got tired and backed up. But yeah, he's fighting the best of all time. But he's just getting caught. I mean, he's not. He's definitely a striker who needs all his weapons. He needs his kicks and distance, and I think not having that wasn't great for him. His hand speed's not nearly as fast, but you can't expect it to be. He just started boxing, so like you said, I think he did about as well as he could have.
Yeah, I
represented MMA well.
I think he represented MMA very well, and that's what I'm most happy about, is that he didn't get embarrassed. He won a couple rounds. Floyd might not have been trying then, just kind of seeing what Conor was throwing, but the fact that Conor hung in there for 10 rounds against the best, you can't ask for more. I thought it was almost impossible that Floyd was going to knock him out. I said if there was a chance, it would be a body shot. And I made a bet with my friend, or my friend made a bet. He said he made a bet online that he bet $45 that Floyd was going to knock him out. Yeah. And I said, you're crazy. That is the dumbest bet you can make.
You screamed and repeated it.
I repeated it.
You were very... That is the dumbest.
It's the dumbest bet. Unless you get a huge payout. But he ended up being right, and I ended up betting $5 on that because I thought it was an easy payday, and I ended up losing $5. But I'll take it like a man. I honestly couldn't believe it. But I'm just happy that you got to see the whole press tour. You got to see everything, the whole build-up, and then the fight did live up to the hype. I mean, that was a great boxing contest. Yeah. I loved it.
I think when I was watching it, I was like, Conor's doing a good job representing MMA, but I was like, there was one person who kept standing out to me. I'm like, this person would have done better.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, Nate Diaz?
No.
Oh, lightweight division?
No.
Oh.
Featherweight.
Max Holloway. Wow. I'm
like, I think Max Holloway would be better at this fight. I think he would have made it more of a fight.
Why do you think so?
I don't know. I think he's faster. Faster hand speed. He's definitely got more cardio. And he's just more... he's kind of more of that boxer.
I can respect that.
Where Conor McGregor's kind of more kicks than what Max would throw or something. Max is definitely more of a boxer, so I was just like, man, I think Max would have done a little bit better. But not that Conor did bad, but I'm like, I think Max could have held his own a little bit better. I would have been more confident in Max doing well.
That's crazy.
And that just gets me hyped for a Max Conor fight, if that is possible. That's what I want to see.
It's never going to happen, but it would be amazing to see, because Conor's never going back down to featherweight.
Yeah, Max can go up to lightweight.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think about Conor not bringing in any new guys to his camp, like a boxing coach or whatever? Do you think that was a smart decision? I mean, he had sparring partners, but like coaching wise, kept it the same it's always been.
Probably not the smartest, but
why do you think that?
I mean, you want a pure boxer coach, but I mean, you can only coach him so much. I'm sure he wasn't telling him anything his coaches already didn't know. Yeah. I mean, you can teach him the basics. You can't teach him all this stuff in one little camp. Yeah. So you can tell him what to do, but at the end of the day, he's got to go out there and do it.
And that's why I think they made the smart decision not bringing in a boxing coach and just stick with your original team. Because if you bring someone in, it's going to confuse everything. You've been with this team since you started your MMA career. So stick with the team. Come up with a game plan that will kind of mess with. Because if you bring a boxing coach in, he's going to teach you how to, or he might teach you how to box. Well, Floyd's beaten all the best boxers, so what are you going to do differently from the best boxers in the world? Why not just stick with your MMA coaches and boxing coach, and then kind of just come up with a game plan that might throw them off? But I was happy.
You're not going to beat him in boxing.
Exactly.
You need to do like what you're saying, throw him off.
So now after the fight is done. What do you think Conor's going to do next? Is he going to do boxing again? Go back to MMA? First of all, what do you think? Will he fight Paulie Malignaggi in boxing next?
Yeah.
That would be.
I think he goes back to MMA.
Me too.
He's a champion.
What do you want to see from him?
And I'm sure he's like, man, I like MMA more than boxing.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like
he's a true martial artist.
Yeah. He likes all the aspects of it. So I think that he just wanted the payday.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go back to UFC.
What do you think who do you think he'll fight next in MMA? And who do you think they'll give him next? And what do you want next?
They want him to have the winner of whoever wins the interim lightweight belt. Who I want? Max Holloway. I want to see Max Holloway. Awesome. That'd be really cool. Two guys with the belt, and they've fought before. Max was a young kid, and he's on a tear. I think Max has the best chance of beating him right now.
That's crazy.
In terms of stand-up. Did
you
see Max's last fight when you picked Jose Aldo?
That's true.
And remember what we said? Conor got lucky when he beat Jose. He knocked him out in 13 seconds. Not that he wouldn't have beat him if the fight went on longer, but that's as easy as a fight gets. We didn't get to see Conor be tested by Jose. Max went 3 rounds with Jose and destroyed him. Put no doubt, like, if they fought again, it's Max. It's going to be Max all day. But you
was
can't
it in Brazil?
I think so.
Oh my gosh! That's why I picked Jose. It's in Brazil.
Yeah.
But you were. Yeah, but that was
Max
a great pick.
Is legit. This kid is so good. I'm so high on Max Holloway. He's one of my favorites right now in those lighter divisions.
I like that. Yeah, that's a cool. I don't think many people would say that. I mean, because Conor had to vacate the belt, so why go back down to get the belt back? Like in Conor's eyes, he still is the champ at featherweight because nobody took his belt, but he also But I I disagree with you 100% on who you think they'll. You really think they're going to give him the winner of the interim belt between Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee? What do you think?
I think that's what UFC will ask him to do.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they ask him to do. Conor decides for himself. He's one of the few fighters who transcends. I decide what I'm doing. They can just react to it.
They want him to fight Nate Diaz in a trilogy fight because that's their moneymaker.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's what. So, do you change your mind for what you think the UFC wants next? You know that the only because
that is just going to be
no. But let me make my point real quick because. They need draws, and Conor is a draw in himself. But if you have two guys that are good draws together, even though Nate Diaz isn't near as big of a draw, Nate Diaz is way bigger. Tony Ferguson, not a draw. Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee is on his way. He's talking. Yeah. He's doing his game, but he's young. Kevin Lee's not there, not even close yet. But Tony Ferguson, not even close to a draw. Even though we love Tony, I'm a diehard Tony Ferguson fan, but Tony's not a draw. The fight that the UFC want. And the fight that Conor wants is Nate Diaz trilogy fight. There's no questions. That's the next fight in the UFC. Yeah. And it should, and it can't. And I was thinking it should be at 155 where they're good weights, but it can't be because you got an interim belt between Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson, so they can't. So I'm going to guess, and I'm just making a bold not a bold, but I'm making a prediction. Nate Diaz versus Conor trilogy fight at 160, maybe 165, but I'd say 160.
They're not doing it lightweight because if it's at lightweight, then Nate can take his belt if he wins.
But there's an interim, so it has to be a catchweight.
Yeah, and that's what's ridiculous. Like, then why are you doing the
Belts-
interim belt? Just don't do an interim belt. Just have those two fight each other for the number one
The only
contender.
reason I want the interim belt is because Tony Ferguson, why make them wait? They've been waiting long enough, and they're not big enough. You know what? Conor might retire after the trilogy fight with Nate Diaz. Who knows? But you got to have an interim belt because the lightweight belt is not getting defended, so you have to do an interim belt.
Yeah.
Belts mean nothing lately in the UFC.
Yeah,
They're just, it's
kind
big
of
fights.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And interim belts mean even less. Like, all right, I'm the interim champion, but I'm going to have to wait 2-3 years till.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's ridiculous. We have 2 champions in this division because we don't want them to fight. Why?
I'm okay with it just because it means that the fighters that win the interim belt are getting paid more, and I want to see them get paid more. So
then just pay them more, but don't make an interim belt and act like
you have to.
like
No
it
one's
means
defending the
something.
lightweight belt. No one's defending the belt. You have to.
Then you got
And you can't-
make them defend it. I don't know.
You can't do Conor and Tony, Conor and Kevin Lee. Conor's so big now. He just fought Floyd Mayweather. Now you're going to fight Tony Ferguson. Like, who the fuck is Tony Ferguson?
Yeah. And what's the scarier fight for the UFC,
Tony.
Yeah, because they haven't fought before. Tony's on a hot streak. Like Nate Diaz, Conor knows what he's getting into with Nate Diaz. They're like, all right, do what you did the second time. Don't gas yourself out. But that's interesting. You think they won't do it at 170?
No way. No way. The only reason it happened the second time, so they fought, Nate Diaz fought Conor McGregor the first time at 170 because that's just what Nate and Conor agreed on. And then the second fight, Conor said, I'm only fighting Nate at 170 because he beat me at 170. So if I come down to if I make the fight at 155, 160, and I beat Nate, they'll be like, oh, it was because of the weight. Nope, I have to beat Nate at the weight that he just beat me at. And he won a decision. So Conor got the decision.
Yeah.
Got the decision.
Not a finish, but
not
a
a finish.
decision.
He got a decision
Still
at
technically
170.
Yeah.
And so I think it should be like at between 160 and 165 they should fight because you can't do it at 155 because it would have to be for the belt.
Yeah.
And we got an interim belt. There's so much confusion in the UFC.
But yeah, I think you're right. Trilogy. But
Yeah. That has to be the fight. It'd be huge. It'd be huge.
I don't think that would be Conor's last fight. I think then if Conor wins, he'd be like, all right. If I were him, I'd be like, give me the Max Holloway fight. I want another belt. I don't care about fighting these interim guys. Give me Max Holloway, and then I'll bounce.
He would. I don't know who he would fight after Nate Diaz because he's already won the belt at featherweight, already won the belt at lightweight. None of the guys that are going to be the champion are draws. So the only other way is for him to make complete history and go up to welterweight and fight at welterweight to get 3 belts. I don't know. It's kind of crazy because he's all about history and stuff. He doesn't just take fights. No, he's very calculated in who he's fighting. And Tony Ferguson, Khabib in Russia is huge, but you're not fighting Khabib because he knows better.
Yeah, that's another very hard fight for him. So he's smart about the fights he picks.
Yeah, that's why Conor's a genius. Yeah.
But he also has the luxury of being able to pick the fights he gets, whereas a lot of fighters don't. So.
Yeah, he's the only one. And then I think the only person that benefited from John Jones testing positive is Conor McGregor because UFC has no superstars. Brock Lesnar's still out. He could come back in 6 months, but I only feel like Brock Lesnar would come back to fight John Jones. But John Jones could be out for a while. So that UFC has no superstars, no pay-per-view. Name one pay-per-view draw right now besides Conor in the UFC. Go.
GSP Bisping is their second best.
That's their best. Besides Conor.
Yeah, besides Conor.
So yeah.
Trying to bring back old.
And I don't think that'll do well. I think it'll do okay. GSP's he's been out for 4 years.
But GSP's not going to win, so
it doesn't matter. They don't care about. I mean, I guess
they would want him to win though.
But at the same time, they just want him to fight because
best fighter ever.
Yeah,
he's back.
But I mean, you got Anderson Silva, not a pay-per-view draw. And if you go down the list of champions in the UFC, Stipe, not a draw. We don't know what's going on with light heavyweight. Middleweight, Bisping, we love him, not a draw. On pay-per-view, doesn't draw. And all they care about is money. Yeah,
draws really.
Yeah, so do you want me to go down the line? I can go.
No.
Woodley, not a draw.
Rousey. He's the worst draw of them all at the moment, so yeah.
Demetrius, who
They're
did
on
you
the
just
list
say?
for stars. Woodley's the worst.
Oh, Woodley, yeah.
Champion,
I mean,
probably.
Demetrius is the best fighter right now, and he is like the worst draw. So they have no stars, and that just Conor's just Hands, he's just feeling real good. Like, oh,
he calls the shots. Yeah.
Oh, so this is what I wanted to bring up. So Conor just got $100 million payday for the Floyd fight. So he's going to go back to the UFC, and he still has 4 fights left on his contract, by the way. So, I think he has, I don't know what his contract, I think his last fight he got $3 million guaranteed, but then, pay-per-view money. So let's say he got $12 million for his last fight. Now he's fighting back in the UFC. He's like, I'm worth way more than that. I feel like he should be getting 25 to 35 million paydays now in the UFC. UFC can't.
They can't afford that.
Yeah, but that's what he deserves, and they can pay him that. They just have never done this before. So, and they don't want to announce that he's getting paid that much because then everyone will be like, oh, so if Conor's I think it'll be a disaster for the UFC if they're announcing that Conor's getting paid that much. So I have a theory what the UFC is going to do. I think they're going to stick to the pay that he's getting, but they're going to give him an equity stake into the company, but not tell anybody. It's going to be private. And so Conor's going to be he'll be getting paid the same amount that he's usually getting paid, but he'll have part ownership in the UFC. And so, it'll be showing that he's getting, how many millions, but he'll also be getting paid because he's part of the company. And then once he retires, then it'll come out that has a stake in the company. What do you think about that? I
read that online too.
Oh, dang, I thought I kind of came up with that.
Oh, no.
Dana White said that?
Yeah.
He would said, what did he say?
Was considering giving stock options to Conor in the UFC.
Gosh.
I imagine, that would be interesting if they did that. I don't know if Conor would want them. He'd take them and probably sell. I don't think he would hold on to them.
Yeah, he would.
You think he would?
100%. Yep.
Maybe run the business later, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what he wants to do.
It would only be maybe 5%, but...
Yeah, but it's sold for $2 billion.
So
yeah,
5% of $4.2 billion.
Okay,
yeah.
So 5% of $4.2 billion.
Right. But I mean, he wouldn't. Yeah.
No way it'd be 5. That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying 5's crazy. Yeah. So 2, 1%, something small. I mean, Dana only owned 10% of it when it got sold, but that's also a $400 million payout when they bought it.
So 5% would be $200 million. I don't think they're giving him 5.
Maybe 1%. But and then when the revenue's coming in, he's getting the 1% or 2%, whatever. But that's huge for a $1 billion company.
Yeah. So, but I think that would be a good option for him. And they were saying they might do that with their stars later on. Maybe that's an option for other stars. I doubt any of the other ones are worth that.
No,
so they'd have to wait till one is. But
Conor's the only one. Ronda would be the only other exception, but she was managed by basically the UFC. So Ronda got screwed out of millions and millions of dollars. She was happy just to get $7 million a fight when she could have been making $20-30 million a fight.
Yeah, but
that's what happens when you're best friends with Dana White, because he's like, hey, we're friends.
Yeah.
We're good. We're paying you millions.
I'll take care
we're
of
good.
You,
I'll take care of you.
I'll take care of you. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I wonder how many fights he has left.
4 fights on his contract.
Think he'll do all 4?
Well, I'm just confused because he said at the post-fight press conference of Mayweather McGregor, Conor said that he's a free agent now. I think he's not. It's the fact that he has 4 fights left, but I think he could be saying I'm a free agent because I can do whatever I want because I make money, so I get to pick my shots. So we'll see. I would love to see him on the December card if they're going to Madison Square Garden, but the goal is the New Year's Eve card or late December card against Nate Diaz Trilogy. I think that's what he'll do next.
Yeah. Man, how great would it be if Nate Diaz beats him, though? I would be cheering. I'm cheering for Nate Diaz.
I mean, Nate Diaz is probably my favorite fighter, so I'd have to, but I just love seeing... I don't know. I mean, okay, yeah, I'd root for Nate Diaz, but I just want another good fight between him and Conor. If Conor won, I wouldn't be pissed off, but I don't know. It should be pretty good, though. If that happens, honestly, I'm with you. I want to see him fight Nate Diaz, but if there's another fight I could pick Conor fight, it would be Max Holloway at 155 or Tony Ferguson. Those are the 3 fights. I don't want to see him fight Khabib. I just don't care about any other fights. That's just me personally.
I really don't either, So, yeah. Definitely the Nate Diaz. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, hopefully it happens in December because that'd be the bomb. Because, I mean, it's already August.
Most likely.
Nate Diaz would win. I mean, Conor's been only doing straight box. Actually, you're only doing boxing, and so that's kind of good because Nate Diaz isn't going to be taking you down. So,
No.
if anything, we'll have to see. Man, do you have anything else to talk about for Floyd and Conor, or anything about Conor? Floyd's retired officially.
Yeah.
He said that before, but, I mean, you're 50-0, you have the best record in boxing history. There's no reason to come back. You just made it great. He said $350 million. I don't know how much he really made, Floyd, but he made great money. I think Floyd's all set. He's got his strip club. He's got all his other businesses. I think Floyd's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's good.
Yeah,
unless, you never know, unless another big superstar comes around,
But he's 40. It'd have to be soon, and there's nothing happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
And he makes calculated decisions. Floyd's not going to fight someone that is a big star but could knock him out, like Lomachenko or Triple G or Canelo, like any of these. He's not fighting them again. So I think Floyd is officially retired. Just take the 50-0.
Yeah.
Be 50-0.
No reason to come back. Enjoy your money.
Enjoy the money. But there's a great fight card this weekend. UFC fight card. It's actually one of the worst cards I've seen ever. It's in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. I literally don't care about any of these fights, but we're going to make picks on the main event. I will make a pick. It's Alexander Volkov versus Stefan Struve, the Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Do you want to break down the fight, or just want to make a pick?
Oh, man, I don't really know
Volkov
well enough, but
he's undefeated in the UFC, 2-0, 2 decisions, but he beat Roy Nelson his last fight.
he's pretty tall, 6'7", I think.
Yeah, 6'7".
There's Struve.
Struve is 6'11".
Been all right. I pick Volkov, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take Struve.
Nice.
He's on a 2-fight win streak, both finishes, while Volkov has 2 decision wins. One was a split decision, and then beating Roy Nelson by decision. That's easy. All you have to do is avoid Roy's right hand and you win the fight. Yeah. Stefan Struve beat Bigfoot Silva by elbows 16 seconds into the first round, and then fought some other dude that I can't pronounce his name by Darce choke. So I'm going to take Struve. Why not? But not much breakdown about this card. No, I mean, yeah.
Jermaine Duran.
Nope, she's not fighting.
Her hand, so she got off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she still has the hand issues.
I bet UFC's not happy with her. But
they don't care about her. It's over. Like, who cares? We'll give you another fight when you're ready, but we're in no rush. Nobody knows you. Literally nobody.
She's the first women's featherweight champion. She made history.
And nobody's going to know her name in 2 years. Nobody knows her name anyway.
Yeah.
If you ask name the other featherweight champion, maybe nobody knows. There's Cyborg? Nope. Not Cyborg. I saw that yesterday. Durand Amin's off the card, and I was like, oh, great. Don't care.
Yeah, that wasn't really one I was tuning in for.
Can't stand her anyways. I mean, you won the belt, and it was so dirty how you beat Holly. Holly should have won in the first place, and then they should have taken points away. It was all a disaster.
Yeah.
So UFC was happy to take the belt away from her. So
they were pretty quick.
Yeah, but literally, I don't know any other people on the card. Marion Reneau, because I just know she fought Holly Holm a couple years ago in 2015, but don't care about that.
European fighters.
Bahadurzada, Sir Bahadurzada from the Afghanistan man. His last win, Brandon Thatch by, guess what?
Rear naked show.
Arm triangle, but submission. Okay. So Bahadurzada, don't even know who he's fighting. Yeah. And then Brian Barberina. The only reason I know him is because he beat Sage Northcutt.
Oh, yeah.
Sage's first loss was to Brian Barberina. That's the only reason why I know.
Sage? Is that a thing they're still doing, or do you think they gave up on him?
They're promoting him that he can he can fold pots in half with his hands and break an apple in one hand. That's about all. He has a jacked body. I mean, a ripped six-pack, good-looking six-pack, but you just lost to Mickey Gall last year. It's all good.
Oh, man. Yeah.
They were going to have him fight John McDessie next, Sage, and I was like, John McDessie is old school. Like, he will beat you anywhere he wants.
Rough you up. You're not ready for a tough guy like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going on with Sage. He's still only 21 years old, so...
Wait, random thought. Is Masvidal? Who's Masvidal's next fight?
Jorge?
Yeah.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah, what do you think about that fight? I mean, it's going to be a great stand-up. You taking Masvidal?
Yeah. I don't think Steven can take him down. I think Steven's not.
No, he can't. And Steven's stand-up. He's karate.
I know, but
I'm going to take Wonder Boy in that fight then. But I'm rooting. Yeah, I'm rooting for Masvidal. Yeah, he's tough as fuck.
He's gonna. I don't think Steven's used to that. He's had 2 fights. Well, that's not true. He's taking shots from, but yeah, Masvidal. Masvidal's my pick.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if you were picking, I would just pick the opposite because it's 50-50 to me. So
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just do the opposite of you. So yeah, I'll take Wonder Boy. But I'm rooting.
And Wonder Boy's Team Weidman, so
gotta pick him.
not good.
But yeah, that fight is going to be incredible. I mean, Masvidal called him out over and over, and he was like, "There's no way he's going to fight me." And then he's like, "I couldn't believe it. He signed the dotted line. He's fighting me."
Just great for him because that's puts you in line for the next title shot if he wins. So.
Hopefully, I really hope so because Masvidal's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
he's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
Old school backyard brawling with Kimbo Slice back in the day in Florida.
But he's young still, isn't he?
No, late 20s. No, he's not young. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stuff to look forward to.
There's
not
some good
this weekend, but
no, not this weekend. Yeah.
After that, so
yeah, the card this weekend is so bad. I'm not even going to watch. We're not. If there's great fights, I'll rewatch
I'll watch
it.
the last fight. Man.
Actually, Masvidal's 32. He's old.
Oh my god! Right.
But dude, he's 32-12 in MMA. He's fought a lot. But yeah. What's the other card after? Because this one I do not want to talk about.
UFC 215.
215. What is it?
Amanda Nunes.
Oh, great. And then DJ.
Johnson Borg, yeah. It was supposed to be JDS.
Oh, yeah. JDS and good
name.
RDA, yeah. But that's...
Jeremy Stevens, Gilbert Melendez.
We'll break that down next... Or no, wait. That's in 2 weeks. So, yeah, we'll break that down next week for sure. Because there are great fights. Even on the prelims, there's good fights. Yeah. We'll have a lot of picks. Melendez, Stevens, yeah. The whole pay-per-view looks great. Yeah, so there'll be more to break down, but yeah, the fight night...
I've been seeing UFC for a while. I don't feel like I've watched UFC fights. It's been over a month.
It's been like 2-3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you even know that there was a Bellator event this weekend?
No.
No, this past weekend. Friday night.
No.
Me neither. Yeah.
Unless they're big names or unless UFC guys are fighting.
Yeah, pretty much.
You need to do more Bellator UFC matchups.
You think they should do like a Bellator versus UFC?
Yeah, like an event. How cool would that be? But UFC has nothing to gain from that. So
that's the thing. There's nothing. It'll never happen. But yeah. And I mean, I'm happy. It's kind of cool that Roy Nelson is in Bellator. Bellator's getting a nice heavyweight division. Mitrione, Fedor, Bobby Lashley, Rory, Chuck Congo. They have big names, not like
Congo. Best comeback in UFC history.
Yeah. Damn. Well. I think we covered. We're just trying to talk about Mayweather and McGregor.
Yeah. Good event.
Good event. Great card, yeah. Or great fight. I don't care about the card, yeah. Great fight.
Maybe it was good.
Yeah. Great. Well, yeah, so next week we'll break down the pay-per-view that's going on, UFC 215.
215.
Definitely have plenty to talk about
win
there.
Advantage by then, so Volkov.
Do I get to take Floyd Mayweather beating Conor as
sure,
a win?
in our boxing. In our
boxing? Fuck off. Damn it. Okay, fine. Yeah, so we'll break down 215. I'm sure there'll be some news coming in, so we'll talk some news. Maybe recap a little bit from the Netherlands event that happened this weekend. If it's the main event's a good fight, but probably not. Just
it'll end in it won't be a decision.
Yeah, okay. Good. Well, yeah, and we're enjoying the PBR. I literally drank one PBR during this whole podcast. Did you finish both of yours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good for you. Still on my first one, but
babysit ears.
Well, it's PBR. It's not like it's enjoyable.
1.8. Go get yourself a 30 rack today.
Yeah, get a 30 rack. It's ranked 1.8 out of 5. So, yeah, we'll be back next week with 215. All right.
Cheers.
Peace.